Okay, with the creative team of Closure, a dance film, we have Kat Bark, who's the choreographer, writer, and star, and then Dainique Jones, who's the director. A dance film about domestic violence. I've seen, I might have the record for seeing the most dance films of all time, and I've seen hundreds of, like maybe tens of thousands of them. I really like this film a lot. I think it's fantastic, and I don't think I've seen a dance film quite like this. And congratulations on the film. And just first question, Kat. So you wrote the script or you wrote the kind of idea. Where did this idea come from you? Like about, hey, let's do a dance film about domestic violence.
Yeah, so it's a story very personal to my life, from my mother's experiences with past relationships and with my own. So, it just felt like I was ready to tell these stories. And then I heard the song written by Justin Vernon, who's one of my favorite artists. And it kind of just all clicked. And then I just started writing, and then I met Dainique at a job we used to work together at, and we kind of just started chatting, and she was really behind the idea, and she had her own thoughts, and together it kind of just all fell into place. Yeah.
That's amazing. And so Justin Verd first, like Justin Verdon, the creator of the song that you guys used.
Yeah, a lot of people also know him by Bon Iver.
Mm.
This was a song, an album that he released under his actual name, which is Justin Vernon.
Okay. And did
Yeah,
you did you know him personally to get the song? Yeah. Okay.
unfortunately not.
Okay.
I do I do wish I got to speak to him personally. No, his like labels and stuff like that were who I had to contact.
Gotcha.
But yeah, yeah.
Well, let's hope he's seen the film. I hope that you send it to them and they were able to take a look at it because I'm sure he would love it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Send it over through the email. Hopefully someone will answer.
No, because from experience, like sometimes art, like especially musicians, it's sort of like an adaptation, right? In many ways, and I'm sure he would love to see it. Unfortunately, people just get in the way, but that's how the business works, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
true.
Yeah. No, I guarantee he would love to. I don't know the guy personally, but I know he would like the interpretation. Okay, so you got the rights to the song. That's a whole kind of I'm sure that was a bit of a to-do as well, I guess, right?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
And then then you decide. So then when did you decide the Nick to direct?
Um, I we started together pretty early in the process. I think even before I got into the studio with my dance partner, Jared McAvoy. And yeah, I think I was like, hey Dainique, I have this crazy idea. And Dainique's an amazing photographer who also wanted to get into film. And yeah, she kind of just took a chance on this one with me and and
So
then we yeah.
no, so did Nick, do you remember this conversation about her
I
first? Yeah.
I do. I remember we were sitting at work and we were just kind of talking about, creative ideas that we've been wanting to do for a very long time. And this was something that I saw Kat was very passionate about. And it was almost like the first time both of us being like, okay, let's do this. Like, I think there's something here. And I think we can work together to try and make this come to light. And I remember at first I was nervous because the thought of directing something that didn't have words was something that I really haven't done before.
Yeah.
So I was like, how can we like translate this story through no words and just dance? And even like the music barely has words as well, like for a good chunk of the film. So it was almost like we both were like, challenge accepted. And then we kind of started from there.
And did you like in terms of like because the terms of the dance film, it's like there's different kind of rules we can do with the camera. Did you like watch other dance films to kind of figure out what
Honestly,
style you wanted to do?
no, I think the story itself was strong enough that my big goal was how can we translate dance moves into words? Like, and having our own dialogue as, because I call it dancer actors because they were acting their butts off. So,
Yeah.
like, how can, like, what was Kat wanting to happen in this moment? And I was very adamant of like, okay, if we're not having words, how does body language, be used to convey that to the audience?
Yeah.
So I really didn't watch other things. I was just taking personally my own experience as an audience member, what I would feel like if I was watching these people do it. And I think I didn't want to watch a lot of dance videos because since it wasn't my first time directing like anything. It was my first time directing other people in a
Yeah.
space. So I was like, I didn't want to get in my head of trying to emulate what I saw. I was just trying to be truthful to what Kat's vision was. That's what
So
it
it,
was.
it is a it isn't there's an arc with the character. So it is a beginning, middle, and end kind of
Mhm.
journey. Like there are acting sometimes, like they're like even at the beginning they're performing, right? You and
Mhm.
Kat and the performer. So obviously the lead male, very important for your film. Where did you find him?
Um, Jared and I met each other working in a dance company together in New York City. We were actually still in the company as the time that we were filming. So we had known each other for a little less than a year at that time when I asked him to come on board. Um, and with him, I feel like you find this in, and no matter what industry you're in, just some people you click with. And for dance, it's really important to have a partner that you trust. So me and him just we worked really well together. And we were both okay with just like experimenting and risk taking in the studio and trusted one another. So he just seemed like the best option to bring for the story.
So then you choreographed everything?
Yeah. The only parts that are improv were like our like acting moments, which were fully happening on site. Dainique was just giving us prompts and like cues, and our camera op was just ready to go. And we just listened to Dainique yelling her cues to us and went for it.
Mhm.
So the first sequence of the film is his solo dancing, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
then he's like dancing on the table, dancing on the couch. Did you guys? I'm assuming you did a lot of rehearsal for that, or like,
Yeah, Jared.
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, so Jared and I rehearsed in the studio for about 6 to 7 months, I would say.
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah, just because I mean everyone on my team is freelancers, so just scheduling in general is really
gotcha.
hard to get everyone together. Um, and then, but he only rehearsed in the actual space, I think the day before we shot.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Which was
that's
nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
yeah,
Because the thing about Kat is Kat will be like, "Can you do two black backflips off this couch, land
yeah.
on the splits?" And then the camera op, "Can you also do a backflip to catch it?" Like that's where Kat's mind goes to, which I love. So it was almost like it worked out so beautifully because all the things Kat envisioned, we were able to really do in the space with a limited time of rehearsal. Because we only shot for one day too, and it was like
Oh
technically
wow,
8 hour day. And we had so many like what is it called? Non-cut shots. So it
long
was just
shots. Yeah, one takes.
one takes, thank you.
Because even his shot, like it's in one take. You go into the dining room, you come
yeah,
out the couch. It's all one
Exactly.
shot. Yeah,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it is.
Even like the shots where Cat would be inserted was also still one shot. Like Cat
yeah.
would be on the ground waiting to like come up, and then Jared we would like try and take his shirt off when it panned to Cat, and then come back into the shot. So that was like nice.
Yeah.
So when you're doing that shot, those shots, those long shots in your film, everything's got to be working, right?
Yeah.
Like not just his dance, like, but the camera's got to be in focus. You got to hit your cues. You got to hit your marks of the camera. There's a lot going on, right? There's a lot happening.
Yeah.
Yes. We also had Kat's friend. I think Kat had a lot of friends that were just so down to do anything, which was so amazing because we had a really great supportive team. One person that really helped with that was our gaffer. Like being able to also maintain light through all the different like spaces through the house that we were going through. And
Yeah.
then the camera op was also focusing himself as he was also shooting. And so I'm like behind the camera op trying to move him as he's going, where Kat
Mhm.
and Jared are flipping through the halls. And then we had two PAs that were like on deck with music, and it was like a well-oiled machine, but we also all didn't work together before. So it was like all first time meeting, first time rehearsing. Some people like first time doing these roles that they were asked to do.
Yeah.
Um, and it was really beautiful to kind of see it all work together because it could have not worked together, but it
Well,
did.
you just brought it up, so you brought up your gaffer. So let's talk about the lighting because it's really great because well, there's like sparks of color in the bedroom. Obviously, sparks of color when they perform outside for that brief time, and then
Yeah.
inside it's dark and it's like no color. It is like it represents the relationship, and then you kind of go into these bedrooms where you kind of show this. So you must have really thought through your lighting design, I guess, for this film.
We had an
Yeah.
idea. Go ahead, Kat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we worked with Sean Peloso, who's absolutely wonderful. So for some of the shots, we got lucky and we got to just use natural light, which we timed very well. So like the bedrooms when we're in the actual bed, that's all natural lighting. So we just got lucky with that there was no rain. But other than that, throughout the entire shooting day, we just had Sean moving lights and he was outside and inside and he yeah, he did a I don't even know how he did it, but
Yeah, he
he did
did
an
an
amazing job.
incredible job. It
Yeah.
definitely helped the film immensely story wise as well. Because the thing is, halfway through the shoot, it started pouring rain. So
Yeah.
then we had to like start adding lights from outside to mimic what we did have.
Oh,
But
gotcha. Yeah.
we also, Sean was really just taking the reins on everything. Like it was just kind of amazing to have someone that was so knowledgeable and had their own lights and was like, "What are you looking for?" We would tell them, and he would just do it. So he's brilliant.
Yeah. That he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gutsy to have this darkness lighting. Did you do a lot of color correction in post as well?
Yeah. I mean, Manu Roy, who also was our camera op, he also did the coloring of it.
Mhm.
But it wasn't a crazy amount just because
Mhm.
Sean did his job really well.
Yeah.
Um, so, but yeah, there was some post production work for sure.
So Danica, in terms of like the shot list, you said you had the oneers. Like, did you have everything kind of set up with your DP? Like, you knew exactly what you're going to shoot?
So we had one day before where we kind of were like trying to map out when the sun was. We were really trying to go based off of timelines within the day based on every shot that we needed because
Yeah.
we weren't aware of the light situation just yet with Sean because Sean was like a last minute ad and we didn't know how many lights he's had. So the shot list from the beginning was very much okay, the sun rises at this point. We need to get all these shots that require some sort of like sunrise then, and then we would go in to do the long takes in the middle of the day, and then we broke up all the like improv scenes later in the day just purely based off of like the light. But then when
Mhm.
Sean came in and was like, actually I can manipulate that, you don't have to do that right now, we prioritized the long takes first because we knew that was going to require the most rehearsal time, the most like oiled machine. So there were a lot of like mixing and matching scenes, but it was nice to have a layout of what all we needed. But of course, a shoot day never goes as planned, but it
Yeah.
ended up working out. Um, but yeah, I was basically doing it based off of sunlight and daylight and nighttime, but then it obviously got mixed around.
So how did you do the last shot? Where she's outside and then you kind of go in and then you kind of it's like one shot too. It's really impressive. But how did you do that?
Is that the one where it transforms like it's nighttime and then he closes it and then it's like
Yeah, she's outside. She
night?
leaves the house and she's outside, and you kind of move inside.
Yes, 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 yes. So actually, that is two shots. I love it. It looks like one shot because I edited. So that one, I remember that was the hardest one for us to get because we were unaware. It was one of those ideas where we had the idea and we did not know if it was going to translate in post just yet. And we
Yeah.
kind of had a very blind faith because we obviously had to go back and forth between present and past a lot within this to like convey the story and the journey of what Jared's going through in his mind. So I remember that night scene, we filmed it, and I remember Sean. did this whole like light trick, like when he goes to the floor and then he comes back up, he shifts from day to nighttime, like
Mhm.
purely manually, like with the lights. And so then when Jared comes back to the door, it's almost like we purposely got a cut there through the door that allowed us to cut back to daytime to see
Gotcha.
that. So yeah, it was again
Um,
when we put into edit, I was like,
Okay, I
oh
see what you did. All right.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully that makes sense because
I
I'm like,
saw this on, I saw, funny enough, I saw this shot on the movie Great Expectations, like way back,
oh
Alfonso Korean, like before he became this huge, he did this
yeah,
movie with Ethan Hawke, and basically, yeah, I saw that same shot, but it's great.
work.
Yeah,
Love
it's
that.
because it looks like one shot. It really
Yeah,
does. Yeah.
nice.
Okay, I'm curious. I mean, it's an interesting ending because she's kind of the arc in a sense where like she kind of leaves the house, but you kind of leave the film on him, which I found interesting. Why? How was that choice made?
Um, it was kind of this exploration of the idea of regret, of even though he was the one who instigated
Yeah.
the ending of this relationship, he was also the one to regret it and think back on those choices
Oh,
that he made. So I kind of wanted it to feel like a loop. So that's kind of why our bookend kind of happened. So it feels like he's just going to relive those memories over and over again. Just in that cycle of regret over. Yeah.
gotcha. So you're making him human in a sense.
Yeah, I definitely do. I wanted it to be relatable for, especially since it is dance. I feel like a lot of people sometimes think that especially in dance, I don't understand it or it's too abstract for me. And I wanted this to be very narrative and it to be focused on characters that people could relate to and understand and have that connection with.
That's great. Yeah, and you did a great job. So is choreography something you want to keep doing is in the future?
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to choreograph a lot for live performance. So this was my first real go at film choreography, which was a fun challenge. So it's definitely something I'm interested in. It's currently why I'm in London. So yeah, I definitely am excited to keep going on that journey and keep working for dance on film.
And in like in on performances, I guess too, right? Like
Yeah,
live
I mean,
shows.
yeah, I love live performance. It's obviously where my career started and where my background is in. So I'm definitely want to stick with that, but I think there's so much opportunity for dance on film that we haven't really seen everything yet. So I'm excited to be part of that world and keep pushing it forward.
That's awesome. Like I said at the beginning, it's like this is a new, you kind of unique dance film where it's dark and it's it's about like this, very kind of not so happy topic, but then you kind of no, you know what I mean, right? Like
Yeah.
it's the cliche for dance films is that everything's all happy and everybody's singing in the rain and falling in love, right? But
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, but yeah, giving a unique spin to it, right? So
Yeah. Trying.
well, you
Trying.
did, you succeeded,
Mhm.
right? And what about you, Dainique? Are you going to keep doing narrative films? Like, do you want to do a more dance
Yes,
film?
absolutely. I think the experience that I had on set really like awakened something because I also come from a dance and actor background, which I think enhances me as a director. But obviously, I feel like sometimes when you are in that headspace of being a dancer and an actor, you sometimes feel like you're always waiting to be told what to do. And I think it took me a long time to get out of that headspace. Like, oh, no, I have an opinion. I want to be able to input my opinion into a story based off my own experiences. And I had a very hard time accepting that I wanted to be a director because I didn't think I had what it took or I,
Yeah.
had to get out of that mindset. But after having that experience on set, it really awakened like a love for me to be able to create a safe environment to help people pull a story out from what's underneath them. Um, and it definitely made me want to do more work and write and create more stories for sure. So that's really
I have to ask, is that a dance pole behind your shoulder?
Yes, we're actually in my studio.
Yeah,
So another hobby is that I do like aerialists. So I do pole, I do aerial
yeah.
silks, and then dance still, and then obviously my photography setups all back there and stuff. So
So
yeah,
my wife's friend,
multifaceted.
my one of my wife's best friends does this, and I
Ah,
tried it, and it's so hard.
Oh
yeah.
my, it's so
I thought I was
challenging.
strong until
Yeah,
I got on the pole and I was
the,
like, I'm nothing.
the upper body strength you need, right?
Yes. Yeah, because me and my
Oh,
roommate, we started during the pandemic. It was like our pandemic hobby. And
Yeah,
then I got crazy ripped. And then the world came back to, and then I obviously like had to go back to work and do different things. So I kind of lost everything. So I'm
yeah.
trying to build it back, but I'm significantly older than what I was when I started it. So I'm like, this is a hard work. Oh my gosh. Because I was 20 when I started, and I was like, woo.
Well, this person I'm talking, I think she's 50, and she is a retired dancer, but she is in amazing shape. So,
That's what I'm talking
and
about.
and she
Yeah.
credits the pole for that.
It
I don't blame her. It whips you into shape. It is
Yeah,
really
not
does.
easy. It's not
Not at
easy.
all. I love that for her though. Yeah.
yeah. No, I just had because it's got that negative connotation.
Yes.
You know
I
what I
even had
mean,
to
right?
like rewire my brain when I started,
Yeah,
and now I'm like, let people do whatever they want to do.
yeah.
Point in time.
But
Like,
then,
please.
but then, like we like say there's like a bachelor party or whatever. You know where I'm going, but it's like,
Yeah.
wow, that's impressive because you're looking at it from a different point of view now, right? So.
Oh,
Yes. 100%.
Sorry. No, but good. So okay, so you guys are both going to be creative. Going in your one's in New York, one's in London. You're doing your own thing, and
Mhm.
I hope this film does well. You're on the festival circuit. I hope it gets the success it deserves because I think that this is a really solid dance film. So
Love that.
yeah, so you guys
thanks.
can keep going, keep making movies.
That's
We will. We're gonna do it.
yes.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate your time. And like I said, this is a great film and nice, like really gutsy, nice cinematic design, like dark, and it's got that shadows and it's got these long shots and just solid choreography too. Like just you're telling the story through dance, and I think everybody gets it, right? So keep
Got it.
doing choreography. I know that speaking of hard, I know that's hard doing choreography. That's a
Yes.
difficult thing, right? And if you're
Mhm.
good, you're really good, right?
Yeah.
So all right, let's talk again soon when you guys make your next film. Please keep making more films because this is here forever, right? So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so
all right,
much. It
Thank
was so
you
nice getting
so
to meet
much.
you.
thank you.